Hey, how you doing, everyone? Jimmy Chadwick here for Trucker Jim LLC. You know, for nearly 28 years, I watched trucking take a beating that I've never seen in my nearly 28-year career. And the reason why I say that is all the failures I've seen in the last few years. And just now with company drivers or owner-operators, I'm talking about large, major outfits, trucking outfits. Carol Fulmer, Davis Express, Roadway. There's so many that have failed in the last few years, and that's just the beginning. It's only going to get worse. And what's sad about that, there's so many people who are in America, they have their hearts set on becoming truck drivers when they have their own authority and finding that success. And if that's you, you can still do this because there's people who are still doing it. And how do they do it? Probably the way I do it. It's having a good attitude and coming up with innovative ways with what you know to find creativity for you to find success and keep that truck rolling down the highway. Now let's talk about your attitude. When you have an attitude with ready negativity, people will pick up that they'll pick that up right out of your voice. So you go to a shipper, you go to the receiver, and you just don't have that I don't care attitude. People are going to see that and they're not going to want to do business with you. So you probably won't be back to that facility. Now, when you show up with a good attitude, you're positive, you have a vest on, you have a good work ethic, people respond to that. You're not boo-hooing this. You're being yourself, you're being a good sport, and people want that. People need that. Same thing when you're making your phone calls. When you call a broker, you call a shipper, when you get on that phone, you're like, yeah, do you have much money in this load? When you keep it just about the trucking, you keep it just about the load, the shipping lane, that is depressing because that's what trucking's all about. It's depressing. There's no money. But when you create a little, positivity, be a little creative. Hey, you know what? You see that game last night? Hey, how's the weather out by you? Hey, how about vacation? You make the conversation other than this trucking. You're creating positivity, and you're building rapport. People respond to that. Hey, this is someone talking to me other than what's going on in trucking. They like that. Same thing with your creativity. Now, if you're an owner operator, if you want to choose going on these load boards are not the same as they were yesterday. Yesterday, load boards was a great place for you to go find loads, get some good rates, and get your truck to a different shipping lane for you to find better freight. But when you use those load boards today, it's kind of like playing the game of Price is Right. When you roll that wheel, every so often it's going to land on that black card, which is bankrupt, and they lose all the money. Same thing when you choose a load board. There's all kinds of brokers out there, and the fraud that we have within the industry today with chameleon carriers, double brokering, it's really hard for load boards to pick up every fraud activity, and there's always a few that gets by. And you get that one truck driver that rolls that dice, they land on that broker, that's going to give them the bankruptcy, but they don't know it until they find out they're not getting paid, or they take a load across the country that's supposed to go maybe 50 miles the other way. It's really important for you to find creativity. And when I'm talking about creativity, do things that other truck drivers are not doing. Dress up, get some business cards, go to some local businesses, shake people's hands. When you first start doing this, are you going to be nervous? Are you going to stumble? Of course you are. You're doing something that you never did before. But practice makes what? Practice makes perfect. So you go to the first couple of shippers, you may fumble. That's why you choose the good shipper you want to get to. You choose them last. This way you start building up a little confidence, you're getting a little comfortable. You get in from that right person, you're going to deliver a good message, kind of like I'm delivering to you. And that's not give up, have a good positive attitude, and have creativity. When you do that, you'll keep your truck rolling, you'll keep yourself positive, and you keep yourself trucking. And that's what's important. You'll have a good day. God bless. And as always, you guys drive safe.